Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
Just in case last night wasn't enough, we're again following more severe weather, and at this hour, it's primarily in the northern part of the valley. Before we get the latest on that, take a look at this. It's from overnight when storms downed trees and power lines like this one at the Clay County Courthouse. We're told that that tree was planted when the courthouse was built in 1954. West into North Dakota, a few tornadoes were reported like this one near Ashley. Just as they did for the weekend, our First Alert Storm Team has declared today as a First Alert Day. So as far as right now, Hutch and the Storm Team are keeping an eye out for potential tornadic activity in the Northern Valley. So let's go over to Hutch Johnson.
Today is a Valley News Live Weather Alert Day.
Thanks so much, Mike. As we head into the evening hours, we do have active weather in the Northern Valley. As mentioned, a severe thunderstorm warning for just north of Grand Forks, the northwesternmost portion of Polk County and southwesternmost portions of Marshall County, Minnesota, where you see the pink there near Oslo. That's some pretty significant hail potential from this cell, over an inch in diameter. That's crossing the Highway 1 corridor, heading not too far from you in the Oslo area at this time. Moving northeast at a pace of about 25 to 30 miles per hour. This hail core moving into Alvarado as we speak. So be prepared for large hail in Alvarado about now. Warren by 6:25 and at 6:30, the Argyle area. This is a storm that was tornado warned moments ago as it was moving over the Emerado area, and our storm chaser Eric Whitehill is on this storm, and his feed is showing the dark skies associated with this cloud. From time to time, we definitely still have some rotation with that cloud. But now, as we take a look at what's going on in Alvarado, what's moving in, the green pixels you see there, 1.5 to 2-inch diameter hail estimated by our radar. Hey, if you're on Lake of the Woods, a severe storm is working its way through that area as well. There's been rotation in that storm and some significant hail moving right onto the lake as we head into the evening hours. So we'll continue to monitor things here, Mike. The Northern Valley is under the gun right now. The Southern Valley does stand a chance at seeing some storms. So if you're in wait mode, like many of us here in the Southern Valley are, I'll have details on when and where in just a few minutes.
Keep us posted. Thanks.
There was a handful of people who claimed it was their right to not wear a mask.
Clock is ticking loudly for those of you in North Dakota wanting to vote. North Dakota is using mail-in balloting, but in Cass County, potential trouble after several election officials quit in the middle of counting ballots. They reached out to our whistleblower hotline. Valley News Team's Joshua Pagaro found out why they walked out on the job.
Isaac Spanger, on a college break, says he decided to become a Cass County election judge. People are voting by mail due to COVID-19, and a space was rented out in the Ramada Inn to count ballots to promote social distancing.
We had a general anti-mask sentiment.
Spanger says he approached his supervisor about other people not wearing masks. When nothing was being done, he and 2 others walked out of the job on Thursday.
I explained my situation of living with someone who's very COVID susceptible, a mom with late stage lung cancer. And it was a general sentiment of, how dare you ask us to do this? It's my right not to wear a mask.
Martha Denton and Naomi Posh also left with Spanger.
I would say that the supervisors definitely should have enforced PPE and required the workers to wear it.
They say there was some pushback by some not wanting to wear masks despite masks and gloves being offered.
You're a member of society and you have to do what's good for society. So it's a public health, it's not a political issue.
Posh says she has an underlying health condition and staying wasn't a risk she was willing to take.
I'm deeply concerned that if I were to contact the virus, I would not make it.
Throughout the afternoon on Monday, several people came to the courthouse and dropped off their mail-in ballots. But I asked county officials whether they were concerned with all 3 judges leaving, if that's going to have any impact on the voting process. The Cass County Elections Coordinator tells us those 3 judges leaving won't impact counting ballots. She says she's relying on guidance from Fargo-Cass Public Health, and she can't force election judges to wear masks. In Fargo, Joshua Pagaro, Valley News Live.
The county elections coordinator says a record number have voted during this June primary with mail-in balloting. They've gotten over 22,000 ballots so far. And if you need help uncovering fraud or corruption in your community, here's some sound advice. Call the whistleblower hotline. We'll do our best to get to the bottom of it. Call 701-237-6576 and leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth. West Fargo police have added new information surrounding a video posted by a man showing his interaction with officers last week. Interim Police Chief Jerry Boyer says Menards employees called them about a disturbance involving the man. They say he was asked to leave the store with his child, which was a violation of store policy. They say he was agitated, uncooperative, and rude, and yelling at the staff. After he left Menards, police say a West Fargo officer made contact with him outside. The man told the officer he had a gun, and police say he was agitated and ignored the officer's instructions. Other officers were called due to the man's non-compliance. Police say he was never arrested and charged with a crime. But Menards banned him from the store. The interim chief says that they have not received a formal complaint from the man in the video, but they're still looking into this particular incident. North Dakota is reporting 19 new positive COVID-19 cases. Over 80,000 people have now been tested for the virus in the state. Right now, there are 472 active cases in the state. That's down 11 from yesterday. There were no new reported deaths in the state. That's the second straight day for that, keeping the death toll linked to the virus at 72. Minnesota is reporting another 11 deaths linked to COVID-19. The death toll now standing at 1,197. Overall, another 338 new positive cases were reported today. Over 23,000 people are listed as no longer needing isolation. There are 3,370 active cases in the state. 2 people have been charged in connection to a June 4th murder. 32-year-old Cameron St. Clair and 35-year-old Aaron Sunby have been charged in connection to the death of Richard Steffen. St. Clair is facing second and third-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter charges, along with receiving stolen property. Sunby is facing accomplice aiding an officer charges, as well as third-degree assault charges. Police were called to an apartment in Moorhead early Thursday morning and found 2 people injured and in need of medical attention. Richard Steffen later died from his injuries. The organizers behind Friday's peaceful rally are accusing Fargo police of illegal surveillance. The group, called One Fargo, says the problem goes beyond former Deputy Chief Todd Osmundson. He resigned last week after more than 30 years on the force. He was initially suspended for being undercover without permission during the May 30th riot in downtown Fargo. One Fargo didn't present any proof of their claims and wouldn't take questions from Valley News Live or other news outlets.
We have information that shows the Fargo Police Department engaged in an illegal black ops mission against community activists and its citizens. The truth will not be set free when the police investigate themselves.
The city of Fargo sent out a statement today saying that One Fargo met with them this morning and made several accusations against police. Any complaints that are made against police in regards to this May 30th event will be reviewed by Fargo Mayor Tim Mahoney as opposed to the police chief. Bail has been set at $1 million for Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer who's charged with murder and manslaughter in the death of George Floyd. He appeared on closed-circuit television from the state's maximum security prison in Oak Park Heights today. His attorney did not contest the bail and did not speak with reporters after the hearing. His next appearance is set for June 29th. The public viewing for George Floyd is underway right now in Houston, Texas. Hundreds of mourners have lined up at the Fountain of Praise Church to pay their respects, including Texas Governor Greg Abbott. This is the third and final memorial service for Floyd. A private funeral service is scheduled for tomorrow. He will be buried at the Houston Memorial Gardens in Pearland. Services were held in Minneapolis and Rayford, North Carolina last week. Later on Valley News Live at 6, what's being done across the country to try to get police departments to change the way they enforce the law.
More significant hail, 2 inches in diameter from the Lake Bronson area. As we head into the late night, more strong storms are anticipated. Your hour-by-hour forecast is coming up right after this.